Pan American World Airways, more than an airline, it was a promise of adventure and a symbol of a connected world. Its blue globe logo was a beacon of hope, its jets carrying presidents, movie stars, and dreamers across continents. Pan Am defined the golden age of air travel, making the impossible seem routine. But even giants can fall. In December 1991, the blue globe stopped spinning. The airline that taught the world to fly simply vanished. The shock was global, a cultural institution gone overnight. Pan Am's story is one of ambition, innovation, and heartbreak. We'll journey back to an era when flying was an event, meet the visionary Juan Trippe, and hear from those who lived the dream. This isn't just corporate history, it's the story of a dream that shaped the 20th century. Pan Am pioneered impossible routes, pushed technology, and became a tool of diplomacy and a symbol of American ingenuity. Its rise and fall mirror the hopes and challenges of the modern world. The story of Pan Am is about vision, glamour, tragedy, and a final dignified goodbye. Let's begin our journey. Look to the skies and remember the airline that once ruled them. The legend of Pan Am awaits. Let's take flight. It started with one bold idea: Juan Trippe's vision to connect the world by air. In 1927, Pan American Airways launched a mail route from Key West to Havana, a modest start to a global revolution. The early years were defined by flying boats, the Pan Am Clippers, turning days-long journeys into grand adventures. Passengers became pioneers, island hopping across the Pacific, making history with every flight. Trippe was relentless, forging government ties and securing exclusive routes, building an empire in the sky. He pushed manufacturers to create bigger, faster planes and built the infrastructure to support his vision. Under Trippe, Pan Am's network expanded rapidly, shrinking the planet and making distant cities accessible. Each new route was front-page news, a triumph of American spirit and ingenuity. The Clipper became a symbol of connection and possibility. Pan Am's foundation was set, ready for an era of glamour and influence that would define the golden age of flight. The world was about to change forever. The sky was no longer the limit. Pan Am was just getting started. The empire was rising. The jet age arrived in 1958. Pan Am's Boeing 707 made New York to Paris a matter of hours. The world shrank. Adventure was just a flight away. Pan Am led the revolution, its name synonymous with speed, luxury, and modernity. Flying was an event. Passengers dressed up, terminals like JFK's Worldport dazzled, and cabins offered gourmet meals and lounges. Pan Am's pilots and stewardesses became icons, ambassadors of style and grace. The airline's brand was everywhere, a symbol of international adventure and American cool. In 1966, Pan Am bet big on the Boeing 747, making global travel accessible to the middle class. The blue globe became the world's most recognized logo. Pan Am was at its zenith, invincible, glamorous, and the very definition of the jet set. The dream of flight for all seemed within reach. The golden age soared on Pan Am's wings. The world was closer than ever, but storm clouds were gathering. The next chapter would test everything Pan Am had built. The sky was about to change. The golden age would not last forever. The 1970s brought crisis. Oil prices soared, terrorism rose, and the glamour faded. Pan Am's 747S became costly burdens as fuel prices skyrocketed. Hijackings and fear cast a shadow over international travel, with Pan Am a prime target. Then came airline deregulation in 1978. Pan Am, with no domestic network, faced fierce new competition. The airline began selling off prized assets, including its iconic New York headquarters and Pacific routes. Morale plummeted, the dream was slipping away. In 1988, tragedy struck. Pan Am Flight 103 was destroyed by a terrorist bomb over Lockerbie, Scotland. The world mourned, trust in Pan Am was shattered. The blue globe, once a symbol of hope, became linked with tragedy. The empire was crumbling, each loss cut deeper. The airline's future was in jeopardy. The storm was relentless. Pan Am was fighting for survival. After Lockerbie, Pan Am's decline accelerated. The Gulf War and recession crippled international travel. The airline was on life support. Employees faced layoffs and heartbreak, watching their family unravel. A last hope emerged when Delta considered a rescue, but the financial wounds were too deep. In December 1991, Delta withdrew support. Pan Am's fate was sealed. The final flight from Barbados to Miami marked the end. At Miami, the announcement Pan American World Airways has now officially ceased operations. Tears and embraces marked the last moments. The blue globe faded from the skies. The silence was profound. The airline that taught the world to fly had flown its last. An era ended in heartbreak. The dream was over, but the legacy would endure. Pan Am's story was not just about loss, it was about what it meant to dream big. Pan Am's fall was more than a corporate collapse. It was the end of an era. Employees gathered for a final farewell at the worldport, mourning not just a job, but a way of life. The spirit of Pan Am lived in its people, their stories, and their pride. Its assets scattered, its planes repainted, its terminal demolished, but the memory could not be erased. Pan Am's legacy endures in aviation history and in the hearts of those who dreamed of distant shores. The airline's story is a cautionary tale. Dominance can vanish, innovation is essential, and even icons are fragile. Pan Am was a creature of a regulated world, unable to adapt when that world changed. Its fall paved the way for today's competitive, cost-driven airline industry. In a world of budget carriers, Pan Am reminds us of what's been lost: glamour, occasion, and the romance of travel. Pan Am sold more than tickets, it sold a dream. The blue globe is gone, but the dream lives on. The story of Pan Am is a story of hope, ambition, and the enduring power of flight. Its memory soars on. Decades after its last flight, Pan Am's spirit lingers in every global journey. Its influence is seen in modern aircraft, global networks, and the very idea of international travel. Pan Am set the standard. Every airline since has flown in its wake. For many, Pan Am was the window to the world, a symbol of possibility and adventure. Its brand lives on in pop culture, a legend of a lost golden age. The story of Pan Am is about ambition, loss, and the enduring power of dreams. It reminds us what's been gained and what's been lost in the evolution of travel. As we look to new frontiers, space tourism, hypersonic flight, we remember Pan Am's vision. The story of aviation is still being written. Remember the airline that first showed us the world from a window seat. Remember the promise of the blue globe, a world without borders, a future without limits. For a time, Pan Am fulfilled that promise, and its dream still flies, high above the clouds.